Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. The 12 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, they map to the beautiful, wonderful, attractive, threefold bending, bluish black complexioned, dazzling, effulgent form of Sri Krishna. And in that, the first two cantos represent the two beautiful soft lotus feet. And the 10th canto represents Krishna's smiling face or Krishna's heart. The heart that Krishna, well, ultimately, because Krishna has also mentioned Sadhavo Hridayam Mahyam, that my pure devotees are my heart. And the 10th canto talks about the residents of Vrindavan. So they are the heartbeat of Krishna. So we could say the 10th canto is either the smiling face of Krishna or the heartbeat of Krishna. And we also know that from the context of Ayurveda, there are 5 life airs in the body which keep the person alive. So if 12 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam map to the transcendental form of Krishna, and the 10th canto maps to Krishna's smiling face or Krishna's heartbeat or Krishna's heart in general, then the 5 songs of the gopis, they map to the 5 life airs. And the Venu Geet is the first of the 5 songs, 5 of the 6 songs that the gopis have sung. We have chapter 21, which is called as the Venu Geet. Chapter 31, which is called as the Gopi Geet, the very famous Gopi Geet. 21 is Venu Geet, 31 is Gopi Geet, 35 is called Yugal Geet, 39 is called Viraha Geet, and 47 is called Brahmar Geet. So these are the 5 prominent songs. And of course, our acharyas have also called Pranay Geet in chapter 29 to be one of the songs. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is of the opinion there are 6 songs, and some acharyas say 5 songs. So therefore, they're called as the Pancha Pran, or the 5 life airs of the body of Krishna. 21, 29, 31, 35, 39, and 47. However, these chapters are not to be plundered upon. The sweetness of these chapters are not to be plundered directly. They are to be understood on the basis of the philosophy of who Sri Krishna is, what is Vrindavan, what is Prem Tattva, who are the gopis, what is the mood of Vrindavan, and understanding the conclusions of Bhagavad Gita and the conclusions and the important points of the other cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then very reverentially we enter the 10th canto. So when we have to go to another country, there are some steps. We have to apply for visa, we have to have it approved. First of all, we must have a passport, then have a visa on it, and then purchase a ticket, and then go through security, etc. Check in your bags, go through security, and then sit into the airplane, and then take off. So 10th canto is like sitting into the aircraft just before taking off from the plane of material existence into the plane of transcendence. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. So that's the 10th canto. But before that, the other cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam are like, we have to collect the prerequisites to get into the plane. We have to have a passport, we have to apply for visa, we have to have it approved, we have to have a plane ticket. So those are the important lessons that we learn. Let's say from the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj in the 7th canto. The conclusions that we find in the prayers of Gajendra in the 8th canto, and so on and so forth. Starting from the 1st canto, going up to the 9th canto, going through the baby pastimes of Krishna, that equips one to have the passport, to have it, the visa stamped, and have a ticket, then have the bag screened, going through security, and then sitting into the airplane. So therefore, however, Venu Geet was the topic of our discussion for Kartik this month and post Kartik. So since it happens only once a year, we are all sitting together and we are discussing. But on a daily basis, our prime focus is to understand Siddhanta, to understand philosophy. Siddhanta baliya chitte nakar alas. Iha hoite Krishna lage sudrida manas. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has said, generally when we have stories and a lot of sweetness, well, we are attentive. But then when there's little philosophical discussion, then fall asleep. So Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has said, nakar alas. One should not be lazy while discussing Siddhanta, while discussing Tattva. We have to understand what is Guru Tattva. Very important. What is Guru Tattva? Who is Guru? Is it a person, or is it a universal principle, all existing principle? Who is Guru? Who is not Guru? What are the duties of Guru? What are the qualifications of Guru? How are the ways in which Guru gives mercy? Should we associate with him just sitting next to him and sleeping in his class, or being sitting next to him and attentive in his class? Or even if we are far away, attentive in his class and fulfilling his mood and mission. So, Vapu Seva, Vani Seva, these are all integral points of how to serve Guru. Who is a proper Guru? How rare is it to find a Rasik Vaishnav whose heart is drenched in the moods of Vrindavan? He who doesn't have it can't give it. Very simple. He who doesn't have it can't give it. So what are the qualities of a bona fide spiritual master? And how are the moods and the thoughts of a bona fide spiritual master? This is all Guru Tattva, very important. Otherwise, how can we surrender? How can we take Diksha? Whom can we take Diksha from? What are the qualifications of a disciple? These are all Guru Tattva included. And then Nam Tattva, understanding the identities of the holy name. How to chant, how not to chant. Who is Nam Prabhu? What are the characteristics of Krishna Nam? Can the name be chanted at night? Can the name be chanted by anyone? Can the name be chanted irrespective of the place and circumstance, in any mood? This is all Nam Tattva. Dham Tattva. What is the identity of Sri Vrindavan Dham? Why do we see things sometimes in Vrindavan Dham or in the Dham which are perplexing? Very important to understand these things. Guru Tattva, Nam Tattva, Dham Tattva, Krishna Tattva, or Bhagavat Tattva. Who is God? Yes, Krishna is God. How deep is our faith? And Krishna in Vrindavan, Krishna in Mathura, Krishna in Dwaraka. What is the similarity between the pastimes in Mathura, Dwaraka, and Vrindavan and Vaikuntha and Ramchandra in Ayodhya? Understanding the similarities and differences in opulence and sweetness. This is all Bhagavat Tattva. And then Bhakti Tattva. How can we serve the Lord? How can we have him bound up by the ropes of love in our heart? What attracts him? What doesn't attract him? What is bhakti? What is pure bhakti? What is mixed bhakti? Very important. Very important. What are the things which categorize under the umbrella of bhakti, or they are included under the auspices, under the umbrella of bhakti, definition of bhakti? And what is not bhakti? And what could be bhakti if it is dovetailed? If it is, if some principles of bhakti are mixed, let's say with some other aspects, little bit of bhakti, but I have also yoga, little bit of bhakti, but I also have astrology, little bit of bhakti, but I also have, some material desires. So is it bhakti, or is it mixed bhakti, or is it not bhakti? This is Bhakti Tattva. And then Prem Tattva, understanding love of Godhead, how it manifests through Madhurya Kadambini, how Prem manifests in our heart. At what stage is love of Godhead sparked in our heart? So we must understand all these tattvas. We must try our bit. We should understand. Then we can serve Krishna nicely. We will understand what is anukul, what is favorable, and what is pratikul, what is unfavorable, so that we can do what is good and keep away from what is not favorable. So this should be our daily plan, all of us. And then, of course, we can sprinkle some sweetness from the 10th canto time and again to propel the vehicle of our bhajan to move ahead.